Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Gary and Jason, or Jason and Gary's BS podcast. Today we're going to be gracing you with our pinball stories and about our collections, different stuff, maybe some of our favorites that we played or, hadn't had, wanted to have, so on and so forth. And I'm going to let Gary start off today. After you.
Everybody bear with me. I'm going through some kind of little cold or allergies or something, so my voice is not quite as irresistible as it usually is. But anyway, my story with pinball, it's funny because I grew up loving arcade games, but back when I was young, I never. I mean, I remember seeing certain pinball machines out in the wild, but I never had any interest in it. It was only
Yeah.
arcades, and really my
Yeah.
first interest was goes back to our arcade episode where I bought my first Donkey Kong 3. Well,
Yeah.
inside the guy's basement where I picked it up, he had like 4 or 5 pinball machines, and
Yeah.
it's funny because it never occurred to me that you could have a pinball machine in your house. I don't know
But an
why.
arcade, yeah.
Yeah, but an arcade you could, but
Yeah.
I never even thought about it. Well, I went over there and looked at those, and I was like, "This is the first time I'd really looked at a pinball machine." And we both grew up in the heyday of pinball, like in the '90s,
Yeah.
where all the good stuff came out. And for
Yeah.
some reason or another, I don't know, they didn't click back then. But I remember looking at those pinball machines in his basement and thinking, man, these are cool. This is each one's like a little world. It's like its own
Yeah.
little world. So anyway, I fast forward. We took the Donkey Kong 3 home, and I remember uh, Darren, which the guy I bought the Donkey Kong from. He
Yeah.
would advertise. He had a website where you'd go on and you'd see what he had for sale. So basically, he'd have a couple for sale at a time. And I remember he had this. It was called Trident, and
Yeah.
it reminded me of He-Man. Basically, if you look at the art, and
Yeah.
hopefully Riley's got something to throw up there, but if if you look at the art,
Like
it
like
reminds you
this,
of
yeah.
that. Yeah, yeah. He's fighting a big 8-legged
Yeah, yeah.
octopus. I'm sure there's nothing
He's all
there.
like jacked.
I
Yeah.
think he's pretty much. I think he's naked, but the octopus is covering everything. So,
I know why
um,
you picked
you
it.
know, as I think back on it, it might not have been such a good idea. But anyway, I saw it, and I immediately, me as a designer and all that, I fell in love with the art, and I was like, I gotta have it. And I
Yeah.
think he wanted like $400 at the time. So I remember I had these two little. I don't know, Jason. You remember those? Remember the little Konami arcade and the Midway arcade that sold at like Target, and
Yeah.
I think I got the
Yeah.
Konami one from Bath and Body Works or something. But it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
yeah, I had two of those, so I was like, well, I don't
Uh,
want those anymore. Since I've got a real arcade, it made me kind of shun those. I was like, I'm too good for those. So
yeah.
so
Yeah.
so I put them
Yeah.
up for
Didn't
sale.
those had like the little hyperlink thing inside of it or something, right? Like multiple cartridges or something. Was that what it
Well,
was?
one was
Was
supposed
it a
to like it was like a little multicade. It like
Yeah.
the Konami one had all the Castlevanias and the
Yeah.
Contras and stuff. Hold on a sec.
Yeah. I remember you had that in your house, right? Like
Yeah. So I had those two games. I thought they were cool before I got my first arcade, but after that, I was too good for them. So,
Yeah.
so I put those for sale for $400, and
Yeah.
this guy came and bought them. So I went to Darren's and bought that Trident, and oh my
Right.
gosh, when I brought that home, I was in love with it. I didn't even, I didn't even hardly mess with the Donkey Kong after that. I was
Yeah.
fascinated with the play field, of how you tear the play field down, clean it, put it back
Yeah.
together, and so that was my first pinball machine, and I loved it.
Yeah.
It was so fun. My buddy Brandon at the time was coming over my house a lot, and we would play that thing every night. I mean, we would he would get a high score, then I would get a high score, then my
Yeah.
wife would come in and get a high score. So it was pretty awesome. And then the second pinball machine I got, which over the years I've had several. I'm just going to run through the first few, but this I was at this near where me and Jason lives. There's this arcade auction that's every 2 or 3 months, and they sell
Yeah.
everything. I mean, you can buy pinball machines, um, arcades, arcade parts, anything you can think of. Well,
Yeah.
there was this. What was that one called? Uh, it was based on that Spielberg movie from the '70s, the Alien one.
Oh, first encounter or close encounter?
Uh,
Is
Close
that it?
Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yeah.
Was that what it was?
Is that? Yeah, I think so.
Something like
Spielberg,
that.
right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a Spielberg movie, the one where the Devil's Tower and all that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, there was a mint one at the auction. It didn't work or anything, but I mean, it literally looked like it had just been produced, and it was from
Yeah.
the '70s. And I just looked at that thing and I thought, oh, that's beautiful. I've got to have it. So I
Yeah.
won it at the auction. The guy I was bidding against was going to take it and take it apart and make like a coffee table out of it. Was going to completely ruin it. And
Wow.
I thought to myself, I can't let that happen. But I ended up winning it for like $300. So I
What?
took it, got it for $300. So I took it home and I changed out the board that was in it, and it was still acting up, like it was acting real weird and glitchy.
Yeah.
And I worked on that thing for a month and could not figure it out. Well,
Yeah.
after one day, I opened up the coin door and I was looking for anything that was kind of maybe sparking or something, anything that would look like a ground or whatever.
Yeah.
And I looked, and the wire where the coin goes down to the coin slot was grounded out on this piece of metal. And
Wow.
I flipped it back where it's supposed to, and the thing come to life. I was like, oh my gosh. So that I got it working. So I was pretty happy. I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
So I had so that was that at that time I had Donkey Kong, Trident, and Close Encounters. Well,
Yeah.
then I had met this guy named Jack. Jack is the local guy that used to work on all the pinball machines. Like if you had something you couldn't figure out, you would take it to him and he would fix it for you. Well,
Right.
he used to have this collection of EM electromechanical pinball machines that were just stacked high. They were in shelves, all kind of stuff. And I
Yeah.
remember I said, "Well, how much would you take for one of those pinball machines?" Um, he said, "Well, you're going to have to clean it up. You probably have to get some legs for it." He said, "But I'll take $100 for it." So I was like, "Okay." So I got it
Wow.
home and I immediately tore it down and I repainted the whole thing. I didn't use the right paints because like 2 weeks after I painted it, it was still sticky. So I'm
Yeah.
not sure what I did there. I mean, I was just learning then. I didn't know. So I
Yeah.
got it. I got it working, and it was basically working. I just plugged it in, and it
Yeah.
worked fine. So that was my first three. And I remember going over somebody's house. It might have been Darren's or whatever. And he had a newer '90s pinball machine. And
Yeah.
the difference in the '80s and the '90s is like crazy because the
Yeah.
'90s have all the bells and whistles. The technology has just gone through the roof, and it just there.
Right.
It's once you have a '90s pinball machine, it's hard to go back to the
Yeah.
other stuff. Well, I remember he had
Yeah.
another pinball machine called it was based on Mad Max. It was called Road. I can't remember. Road Warriors or not Road Warriors, but I can't remember. But anyway, it was like one of the first. It was one of the first talking pins from the
Yeah.
like mid to late '80s. So
Yeah.
I was like, I ended up getting that from him. Okay, so I've got four pinball machines. Well, Darren meets this guy we call the banker,
Right.
and after that, after even when I got that Road Warrior pinball machine or Road Kings, that's the name of it. It was called Road
Road
Kings.
King.
Yeah,
Okay.
you remember that.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
even after I'd got that, it still didn't live up to the '90s pinball machine that Darren had, and I think the one he had was Viper Night Driving by Sega. You remember
Yeah.
that one?
Yeah.
So it didn't live up to it, so I wasn't satisfied. So
Yeah.
Darren, he met this guy. We called him the banker. His name's Jim. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
He's got this mansion, and now he's got a massive pinball collection. But
Yeah.
back then, he
Yeah.
was looking he was looking for his first pinball machine. So I I figured I was like, well, I can sell three of the electronic ones that I have, and
Yeah.
I can buy. There was a machine I wanted called Bram Stoker's Dracula, and
Right.
so I was like, well, I'll go ahead and sell those. So I sold those to Jim, and that gave me
Hmm.
enough to start looking for a Dracula. So
Yeah.
it wasn't but about a week or two later, a guy from one of the forums that I was on, he sends me a message and he said he had one. His name was Chad, and
Hmm.
so we worked it out. So we met at the comic book, or not comic book, but the arcade auction. There was
Yeah.
the arcade auctions on Saturday, and we met. I think it was might have been Friday because everybody brings everything in on Friday.
Right.
But so I ended up me and the buddy Brandon, the guy that went and got the Donkey Kong with me. He went with me to go pick up Dracula, and
Yeah.
after I brought that home, I thought I was the bee's knees. That machine. I don't know if you've had a Dracula before, hadn't you?
Yeah, I did
You didn't
actually.
have as good a experience with Dracula as I
No.
had. But
No.
the one I had was amazing. I mean, it's an extremely hard machine. And I
Yeah.
remember I would try to. There's a place where the goal is to stack all three multi-ball modes to get
Yeah.
your high score. Well, I remember I would try, and I could only stack two. And my wife, she used to play pinball with me, and she was a lot better than I was. Like she had better uh, coordination or something. But I remember I was I was watching her play the first time I saw that machine get all three modes stacked, and it was
Yeah.
the most awesome thing. I mean, when she went into multi ball, she had like a score of 200,000 or something like
Yeah.
that. And when she came out of multi-ball, like 5 minutes later, she had a score of 1.5 billion. I mean, it was crazy, and I was
Yeah.
like, this is awesome. And from there, it kind of started my whole. I mean, it after that, I had to have another one just like Dracula, which I think the second one I got was Black Rose, which that one was a good one too. But it just,
Well, did Dracula didn't it have like a mist ball
yeah,
that like
um,
floated
one of the
across
multi,
the?
yep, there was a magnet that ran under the playfield, and
Yeah.
when he starts going wins, the ball comes out of this
Yeah.
chute, and the magnet drags it across the playfield, so it looks like it's wobbling across the playfield by itself,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
one of the coolest effects you'll
Right.
ever see in pinball. I don't
It
think
was.
they've.
Yeah.
I mean, it's awesome, but and that was back. See, you could still get pinballs cheap back then.
Yeah.
I think 1,200 for Dracula, and that was unheard of. Nobody had gave that much for that game. I mean, you could have
Yeah.
probably got it at the auction if they'd have had one. You could have probably got it for 800 or 900 bucks.
That's
But I
insane.
wanted it so bad. But now that same game, you're going to give what 5 or 6 thousand for?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's through the roof. And I've had three
Yeah.
of them. I've had the first one, the first one I give 1,200. The second I give 2,400, and then the
Yeah.
third one I think was like 3,500. So yeah,
It's
they kept going up, and that happened around. You could get whatever you wanted to about 2011, and then
yeah.
everybody started getting into hobby, and when everybody got into hobby, it drove them through the. I mean, there was some
Yeah.
crazy prices going on, like 2015 and stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
crazy prices.
Yeah.
But
It priced out for
yeah,
me.
yeah, it did. It was, but I really pinball is awesome. I love everything about it. I love the plastics that you have to clean. I love all the little mechanisms. I mean, it's just, you can get lost for just a few. I mean, and it's not just playing it, it's just as fun to
Yeah.
work on them as it is to play them.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
I remember coming over to your house and seeing them tore down, like where you were cleaning
Yeah,
them all, putting new rubbers on them
yeah.
and stuff. Good
But
times.
yeah, that's kind of my interest. I mean, we can have another episode some other time where we go in depth of what all I've had, or but
Yeah, you
but because I've had quite a few. But
you have. I have
but
not.
that's kind of my introductory and how I kind of got into it and what it led me to. But to this day, I love. I'm not as into it as I was because I can't afford to
Yeah.
be. But but I still enjoy them. I really enjoy them.
Yeah. Do
So,
you
how
you
about
still
you?
have do you still have one besides
No,
the
the
Star
only
Wars?
pen I got is this. This is actually my wife's. It's one of those arcade one
Yeah.
up virtual pens.
Yeah. I could have swore you still had one. I don't know.
No, I had a electromechanical a while back, but
Yeah.
I was going to restore it, but I just lost interest in it. It's really hard to go back to the old ones once you've had the new ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I didn't have near as many as Gary, so I can get through all mine probably. Uh, let's see. I started off, uh, with arcades, like you said too, and it never dawned on me either to really get a pinball machine because I was like, I'm arcade all the way.
Mhm.
I had bunches of those, and then I remember you getting into pinballs, and coming over to your house, like I said, and I saw you had them tore down and stuff. You were going through them. You're like, man, it's awesome. You put new rubbers in here and lights and blah blah blah, you know. And I was like, yeah, that seems pretty cool. And the first one I got was Haunted House, I believe. I'm pretty sure that's the first one I had, and I cannot remember which ones I bought from you, but I think Haunted House I got from a guy lived about an hour away, and I think me and Riley went and picked it up. I think that was my first one. Now I have a terrible memory, but pretty sure that was it. And it has pretty interesting playfield. It's got the basement down the
Yeah.
bottom. Then you got the main level, and then you have like was it an attic kind
Yeah.
of area? Yeah, so it could go down into the basement. You had two flippers down in there, and then you could go up in the attic area, and it had flippers up there. Like the goal was to try and keep it down there or up in the attic and score a bunch of points, whatever, and then go back to the main play field. It was pretty fun. I love the art and I loved the game. Actually, it was a fun one I would get again probably if I could afford it. But it was
It's
fun.
beautiful.
And then I think didn't you have a haunted house too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
thought
didn't
so.
have as good I didn't have as good an experience with you. I loved the way it looked, but I could never get mine
Yeah,
working good.
yeah. Mine did work pretty good. I remember putting new rubbers on it and some lights and stuff, and it was pretty fun. And then I think I got maybe Black Knight, and that one it was all right. I don't know. That one wasn't my favorite one. I did play it a little bit, but then I think I got Black Knight 2000, which I enjoyed more solely based on the music.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it had a cool riff in the middle of it. Sometimes you get this guitar riff that was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So I did like that one pretty well, and another one I would probably get again if I had the opportunity. But again, like you said, they've all gone skyrocketing. I don't know, it's insane. Uh, then let's see, I did get Dracula. I got Bram Stoker's Dracula, and I I don't know. I didn't know how to play the game or something because I mean I got the multi ball a couple times and I saw the mist ball and it had very cool elements to it. I love the
Yeah.
artwork on it. It had Dracula in the coffin.
Mhm.
Um, it was very cool playfield. And I actually took out all those parts, repainted them. I
Yep.
did a lot of like mods to that
Yeah.
game, like actually. So I can't say I liked the look of it more than I liked playing it, I guess. And maybe I just wasn't good enough. I don't know because I know it's a good game. It just
Yeah.
wasn't wasn't coming to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then let's see, what other ones did I have? Uh, we just talked about it. I can't remember now. Is that
And
is that was that? Huh?
yeah, Judge Dredd.
Judge Dredd.
Ju-
That one I bought
ju-
off you.
yeah, you bought Judge Dredd for me.
Right. Now that one was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I did like that one. I hated getting rid of it.
Yeah.
Like that one was fun. That one was one that has the what is it in the middle? Shit, I
It's
can't
got like
remember.
I forgot, Dead World or something, Dead World mod,
Yeah,
where it catches the
yeah,
balls on the little Saturn. Yeah,
yes,
that
the
was
little
a cool
disc.
one.
I did enjoy that one, and the art again. I love the art on these games. Like they're
Yeah.
you just can't find that kind of stuff anymore.
Well, it had the
Even the newer ones,
true
like
it had the true
yeah,
comic book art. It was awesome.
right,
Yeah.
right, and yeah, the playfield was awesome. I mean, that was a good game. I
Yeah.
really hated getting rid of that one.
Yeah.
That sucked. But So Judge Dredd, yeah, that was fun. Then I think that may have been the last one before I got Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And I, I don't remember is it Pro or
Premium. You got the
whatever? It had
premium.
premium,
Yeah,
premium.
you had a premium.
Yeah, and that to me was the most fun to play.
Yeah.
And at that time, I'd been buying and selling the arcades me and you were doing and stuff, and just buying, selling, refurbing, all that stuff. And I'd managed to save up $6,000. I was like, this is it. This is the time.
Yeah.
Now's the time. I'm never going to do it if I don't do it now. And I found one for sale for $6,000. Called him up. I can't remember his name now. You know him, but I can't think of it. Anyway, went to his house, looked at it. Everything looked good. It looked perfect. I was like, all right, man, $6,000. Got it. Brought it home. I mean, my wife Melissa played it. I played it. My kids played it. We all loved that game. And I mean, it scared the shit out of me the first time it did the Scream the Librarian.
Oh yeah.
Eventually, you get you get that, and it's so loud, man. It just goes off and screams and just scares the shit out of you. But that to me was probably the most fun game to play, and I wish I could have kept it. But like you said, like the game started pricing out, and I had no idea. I just bought it because I wanted it. I
Yeah.
kept it for several years, and then I ran into some money issues or whatever, and I had to sell it. So I started looking. I had the topper, the
Yeah.
siren topper, and everything. Like, I mean, it was a really nice machine. And I look it up, and it's like these things are going for like 12 grand.
Yeah.
So I put it up for like 12, 13 grand. I don't even remember, and sold it within like a week or two. Like,
Dang.
like that. And I was like, man, we're out of the hole, babe. I was like, I mean, that, I mean, if anything, I mean, that's why I look at these games like an investment because, you know, most of the time you can usually get your money back out of it. And
Yeah.
in that case, it actually saved us at a
Yeah.
low point. I was glad I had it.
Yep.
And that got us through the point we made it and everything was good. But I just I wish I wouldn't have had to get rid of it because it was a really
Yeah.
good game, but I was glad I had it, at the same time.
Well, the
And
thing about pinball is, yeah, they're awesome, but also you'll be walking through the room and you're like, that's 4 grand sitting right there, or that's
yeah,
5 grand sitting right there, and you get to thinking
yeah.
about what else could I have for 5 grand? You know what I mean? And it just it's
Yeah,
hard to keep them.
yeah, yeah, that happens. And speaking of Trident,
Yeah.
I went over to I don't know, you remember Jason Salmons. Went over
Yeah.
to his house recently, and he's got a Trident in there that is immaculate.
He told me about it. Yeah.
And we spent a good bit of time talking about yours and all that stuff. I was like, man, I remember Gary, I think, bought the same Trident like maybe two or three times
Yeah.
because you regret it. I remember
Yeah.
you were like, no, I think you went back to the banker
Yep.
and got it right.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, we went to the banker, and man, his house is something to behold. I mean, he has a freaking
Oh, it's nice.
elevator in his house,
Yeah,
and
he's
then
nice.
downstairs just lined with arcades and I mean pinballs.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen nothing like it. And I was talking to you earlier about it, and I don't know if anybody watching this or would be interested, but if so, you can comment down below if you guys think we should maybe go on the road a couple times, maybe do some videos maybe in the banker's house, or like I was telling you, this other fella's got an arcade in his basement, General Lee and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. I thought maybe we could take it on the road podcast every now and then, just maybe once a month if we can get our shit together and get on here.
Yeah.
It's mostly me, but you know,
No, it's
I would I would like to maybe do that sometime. And I
yeah,
still want
that
to
would be
finish
fun.
part two of our
Yeah.
car episode. But anyway, I guess I've rambled on long enough. And if anybody out there watching this does want to see that and wants to comment below, maybe some ideas of things we could talk about, or just in general how we're doing, would be nice. So I guess did you have anything else to add?
No, I mean I
You're
think that's a
not
pretty good episode.
you're on your deathbed right now, so.
Yeah, I'm fighting death, whatever this is.
Well, then I'll go ahead and sign off. Thank you guys for watching Jason Gary's BS podcast. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Adios.
Later. Later.